Good morning. Today's video is going to be a wear and compare. I haven't done a wear and compare in ages, but this particular one has been asked for months. I'm only just getting around to it. I apologise. I've had it on my list, but today's the day. We are going to be comparing the Estee Lauder to the Primark Longwear foundations. This is the double wear. The double wear is one of my all-time favourites, one of the ones that I always go back to when I've got a night out or an event or something that I need my makeup to last a really long time, and this is the one that everyone says is a dupe for it. The difference in price is insane. The Estee Lauder is somewhere in the region of £30 depending on where you buy it, and the Primark one is £5. I do have a very small dog just to the side of me. He's looking at me now because he knows I'm talking about him, and he's going to make some like grunty noises, so if that, if you hear it like that, that's what that is. But today I'm going to put one of these on one half of my face and one on the other half, and you're going to see how they last throughout the day. I know that some people have a problem with it being no pump on the Estee Lauder. I've never really had that big of a problem with it, but I think I do it differently. I don't pour it on the back of my hand. I just shake it up and I put it on my finger and then I put it onto my face. I lost my phone and I just heard it vibrate, so it's in this room somewhere. Call the beauty police, because people don't do this, I don't think. But I don't really get any waste from the products that way. So I'm going to use my Real Techniques that is broken. I've got another one of these somewhere and I don't know where it is. But I'm going to use my Real Techniques to blend this in. The colour is Bone, I think. It is. 1W1, I think it is. And pretty much the perfect colour match. I recently tried the number 7 Stay Perfect in Calico, and that is maybe a closer colour match, but this has always kind of been the thing that I hold other things, like the standard that I hold other things to, because double wear has got a great shade range. The Primark one, not so much. I think there's like 5 or 6 colours in that one, so that's not great. And I wasn't really careful when I picked it out. I just picked one of the light ones. I just love it. It's so natural. It's really, really nice. Worth mentioning as well, I'll just start with the other side. Worth mentioning that I have got a little bit of oil on my skin. I was going to say on my fin. I've got a little bit of oil on my skin today because it's getting to be that kind of, we've just turned to the cold weather. Oh, I think it's just going to be a lot lighter. At least we'll be able to tell the two apart. Also, the neck, the opening of this is less. I'm going to put more dots on my face. What was I saying? Cold weather. And so my skin is getting quite dry and dehydrated, which is kind of a new thing for me because I'm very oily. Oh, this feels, I feel like the Primark one is like a lot more watery. I don't think that I gave the Primark one as good of a shake before we started. No, it's definitely got kind of a more liquidy feel to it. Okay. Obviously not colour match, holy moly. Thankfully, I'm doing this while I'm staying in. I really wanted to do a test like this while I was at work, and I saw them in the bottles together and thought they are nowhere near each other. I can't go out of the house with 2 different coloured foundations on. But it will be a good way of us kind of really seeing this side and that side. Just caught sight of this in the viewfinder, and when it's kind of all like this, kind of looks like a vagina. I don't think I can wear this jumper again. Okay, as this sets a little bit, it is giving a similar finish to the double wear. It's kind of, as it's settling in, becoming more matte. I would say that the coverage is very, very similar. I don't find either of these to be super high coverage, but that's what I like about the double wear. Where have I put the lids? I don't like very, very high coverage foundation, which has always blown my mind because people have always talked about the double wear being like super, super high coverage. I know you can like build it up to be super high coverage. Hey there. But I quite like that it is somewhere in a medium because you can see my skin through it. I have some pigmentation, I have some kind of unevenness, and I don't mind that showing through. The dog is like absolutely desperate for some attention today. Here he is. He's just like sidling up to me. I don't think they understand. You know when you're talking and they're like, but you're not talking to me. I don't get it. Yeah, I've liked kind of more of a medium and more of a natural finish and coverage, and I really like double wear for that reason, but I don't build it up. I do just do that, the one layer. So yeah, they are very, very similar. Colour aside, they are very, very similar. I'm going to put on a little bit of makeup. I'm just going to put on some loose powder, some mascara and a lipstick to kind of brighten my face up a little bit, but I really don't want to put anything else on my face. I don't want like bronzer or blush or anything because I really want us to be able to see this at the end of the day. So I'm going to go bright with the lip, but the rest of it is going to be nothingness. It would seem that we did this right on time because someone's decided to do lots of tree trimming now. Just as I started filming something else, I filmed like my lip thing for IGTV. If you're interested in how I overdraw my lips, I just filmed a thing for IGTV because that's something people ask about, but it's not really worth an entire YouTube video. And so yes, I am going to leave this. Every time I look in the viewfinder, I can't not see 2 different coloured foundations, but hey ho. I'm going to leave this for a couple of hours and I'm going to come back to you like just kind of throughout the day and see how this is. Like I said, not going anywhere. I'm just sitting at home and editing and filming some stuff. I was going to film some stuff. Now I might not. But I'm kind of around the house doing that kind of thing. So I'm not going out. I'm giving this kind of the best test day in that, what do I mean, the best conditions. So I'm not like out in the car. I was very aware that last time I did a foundation review, I was wearing one foundation, but one side of my face was oilier than the other. And someone mentioned that it could be because of the heat from that side in the car. And I thought, oh, this kind of thing really needs to be kind of when you're indoors all day, just so you can really get a true perception of whether or not something compares to something else, and especially with something like this. So yeah, I'll be back in a little while. Right, it's been 3 hours and I've just put the heating on. It is freezing. I'm just documenting this, recording it for history, just put the heating on for the first time. So I'm really, really impressed with this. I didn't expect much from the Primark one. I don't think that it is, like looking in the mirror, it's not really much of anything. I was kind of really looking at the texture of my skin rather than oil or anything. Looking in these lights, I do think that it is more matte this side, but the coverage is exactly the same. I don't find that either looks worse. I don't think that it's kind of clung to any areas or anything, but I do realise in these lights you can't really see. So I'm going to just take you outside for a second and we're going to zoom in so you can see the texture of my skin a little bit better. Okay, I do look super pale today. This is always something that I feel like is missing from this kind of thing, because in studio lights you can't really tell, but all of this, it's just kind of, I don't know, maybe when I come to edit I'll feel differently, but I think it is really, really similar. I am going to be shocked to my very core at the end of the day if I can hand on heart say this is a comparable product, because I bought it, people told me to try it, I was like, it's not going to be though, is it? I mean, I love Budget Beauty. That's why we're here. I want this to be great, but I didn't truly believe that it would be, because I've tried loads and loads and loads of different foundations and nothing in my mind has been comparable to Double Wear. Possibly Colour Stay, depending on the formula, but that's been back and forth. This is a real contender. Okay, it's been 6 hours. It's pretty much still perfect. Really no oil on either side to speak of. I can't, when I'm like, yeah. And then you slightly do that and you're like, oh no, that is 2 faces of makeup. The colour is really quite horrendous. I'm going out with this on. I've got to go to Tesco. I've got to go and collect the kids from school, but I can't take this off at this point. We need to see this through. Okay, we're 9 hours in. I kind of wish that a couple of hours ago I had checked back in, because at around the 6 hour mark, it was still absolutely perfect. And in the last hour, I have cooked and eaten dinner. So I've been in a hot kitchen and I feel like a lot of that has kind of played into the way that this has worn, because there's just a lot of areas now where it's kind of broken down around my nose, on my forehead, on my chin, kind of in the areas that you would if you get particularly oily. But that being said, I really do think that they are comparable. Maybe a touch more oil on this side, but it's not like night and day. Like, bear in mind again, this is the lighter side. This is also my worst side. Does anybody else feel like they've got 2 different faces? This is my better side. It's something to do with my nose, and on this side, because of my nose being crooked, this side is not my favourite side. So don't let this sister side sway you. I do think they're very, very comparable. I did just take a picture with and without flash. Without the flash, it kind of looks okay. Like if I'd been out for 9 hours, I'd be feeling pretty good. Also, the lipstick. Have not touched this up all day. And again, I've just eaten dinner. And it was like mashed potato, like a pot roast and green beans. It wasn't like an easy, it was a potentially messy dinner. I've had multiple cans of Coke, cups of tea, and a half a glass of wine. And I'm really, really amazed by this lipstick. I was already impressed. It was already one I wore a lot, but 9 hours. This is kind of like almost the star of the video. But yeah, I took a picture with and without the flash, and you can see with the flash on, suddenly it's glaringly obvious where it is wearing away and how much shine there is. But if I'd gone out and I was wanting to wear this like for a long evening out, 9 hours in, I mean, number one, I'm going home, but also I'm not taking pictures with flash. Who takes pictures with flash? Not me. And nobody is kind of going to be like up close and personal in very, very bright light, so I don't really care. A 9 hour day, again, by the end of a 9 hour day, I'm going home. And had I not been in the hot kitchen, I don't think that it would have worn in the same way. At 6 hours, it was still perfect, pretty much matte everywhere. I am really, really impressed. It has shocked me. I didn't think it was going to be this good. I don't know what to tell you, but I'm going to go back and see if I can get a different colour. The colour that I've got, I don't think I told you, was porcelain. I'm going to go back and see if I can get a slightly deeper shade. This may be better for me as we get into kind of the depths of winter, but right now, I don't know if I'm ever really that pale. I don't know. But I think a little bit more colour on me is slightly more flattering. I don't know. I'm impressed. I'd love to hear from you guys if you have tried this, what you think. It's not going to work for everyone. Like I say, I was really shocked that it works for me. I do love my double wear. If I can find a shade that is very, very similar to that bone colour, because I think it is a good colour for me. It's maybe a little bit deeper than I really am, but I like that colour on me. I'm kind of cool with it. But if I can find a colour that I really, really like, I will be wearing that more often. Also, I'm going to do a full face of Primark very soon. So if you're not totally sold on this, if you want to see it again, I'm going to be doing that, and I will use this foundation then as well, and there'll be another day test. So you can see it in action with some other Primark products and more makeup on my face. But yeah, what do we think? Is it a win? I think it is. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. Every time I'm going